Yo, people who will watch this video. My name is JustAnAverageGamer, and I am bringing you some Hardstyle Rush. We in fact win this game it's a bit of a clutch defense as we come in late, and we are getting hammered. This is of course my submission to the Stoneface Lock and the rest of the DeeO Crew commentary contest. I hope you enjoy. So as I mentioned just a second ago, we have come in late. I of course take my time to spawn in. And I find myself in this game later on. I realise that I am actually against some guys that you guys will recognise, some pretty well-known people from the Battlefield community, and that would be Coyno and the rest of his entourage, who happen to actually be demolishing us for most of this game, especially in this base and the next base, and I'm completely oblivious to it. Guys, really wondering that there's other people that I recognise on the other team. Oh, a few minutes in, first of all, when I kill a guy with the DRM clan tag, and I was and that sort of triggered a thought in my head, thinking, "Hey, there's someone else that's playing from Don't Revive Me, bro." And later on, of course, it sort of clicked to me that hey, that was Coyno. Why was Coyno killing me when I looked at the scoreboard or something like that? And yeah, I don't even realise this is Coyno, even though he's just about to kill me with a lucky headshot, I may add. Yeah, but anyway, I completely missed that. I was oblivious to that fact that it was him and people that I actually recognise and spoken to and played with before. But oh well. This of course is a bit of a jumpy game. You won't see because I've cut it all out, but there's quite a lot of death scenes, and also there's a lot of message sending and jumping into parties and getting invited to parties and stuff like that. So I've cut a lot of those screens out. So if it suddenly jumps a bit, that's probably why, and if it jumps a lot in ticket, that's probably why I was sending a message. I know later on I cut about 40 seconds out, just in the middle of nowhere. So if it's a little bit jumpy, that's my explanation as to why. But yeah, we've come in. I use an array of kits in this game, kind of just trying to sort of suit what's going on in the match and what's necessary. And sometimes there's literally a state in the next set of bases where I'm just out of ideas. I'm literally changing kit for the sake of surviving, and not even really is that working for me. But I go through engineer. I think I dabble with medic and assault once for a small period of time, but it's not too successful. But I might even be wrong. This was quite a long time ago when I first got this game, so you know, bear with me if I don't have the details quite set out. But I do know that I spend the majority of the end of the final base with the recon kit, and that was simply because I was like, well, we've got plenty of engineers to handle our tank, and it's funnily enough the recon kit is one of my go-to kits. However sort of newbie it is to have the 4x, as you know, it is kind of a go-to thing, and I tend to be quite effective with it if my shot's on. Sometimes of course, but most of the time my shot's a little bit off, so anybody that plays with me gets to hear me rage a lot when I'm not hitting shots, but when I am hitting shots I feel good about myself, so that's why I tend to use the kit. But as you can see, I'm even looking at the scoreboard, still oblivious. But anyway, I do end up realising a little bit later on that in fact I am playing with Coyno and some of his friends. And yeah, it becomes a much more friendly but more competitive game as soon as I happen to know and notice that I'm getting shot at and killed a lot more by these guys. What I actually wanted to talk about today, it takes me 4 minutes to get into it. Well, I've got a 15-minute video, I can take my time. Is sort of a follow-up on a friend of mine called D. He's already submitted some content for this contest, and you'll have probably seen it. If you haven't, I definitely recommend going and checking that out, because it's actually a really good video. Really enjoyed my time watching it. He was much more clearly spoken and thought his out much better than mine. But I like to look at sort of going on from his. It's sort of similar. He compared Battlefield versus Call of Duty as a franchise. I kind of want to do the same. I had the idea as well with him. I don't think we mentioned it to each other, but we just so happened to have the same idea. I kind of want to run across the same thing, and to try and avoid repeating points of his, I'm going to try and look at kind of a different little thing. Sort of, instead of comparing the two franchises of the games, I'm going to look at like the community around them and their future releases for Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3. So we might as well start with the community and look at like the differences we've got here are that Call of Duty's community is much bigger. Most of the sort of main channels that you can think of are averaging over 100,000 subscribers. let's put it like that. I mean, well, not most of them, but there's a good majority. That's the wrong word for it. There's a good amount even that are over 100,000, over 200,000. Some are even over 300,000. But then, okay, then it's getting rare. If you look at the Battlefield community, there isn't really a channel I can think of that's past 20k. I mean, Colin's nearly there off the top of my head. I don't know all the channels, I'll admit that. So I might have missed a channel that has. But off the top of my head, I can think of most channels being a few thousand subscribers. And then there's a few bigger guys that are maybe 10,000, you know, five figures. But otherwise, you're kind of looking at like quite much smaller numbers. And with that are the pros and cons, I guess. The pros being that you don't get that flood of idiotic comments and immature responses and things like that when you put videos out, and if you're able to address more mature and you'll get a decent response, especially if you want to put a serious video out. I know I'm not saying that Call of Duty guys, because I used to be one myself, I kind of regard myself as I still am, they can handle serious videos, but there is a lot more I don't know, crazy emotional people in there who, you know, kind of, I don't know, they just make some stupid points. They don't consider different sides of an argument, things like that, and it's annoying to try and get into an argument with any of them. So most people tend to avoid doing it. While if you come to Battlefield and you disagree about something, you're going to be able to settle it in the comments quite, you know, sort of civilly, I guess is the word for it. And that kind of goes to the commentators themselves as well. You see it so many times, as Coyno gets me yet again. You see it so many times that Call of Duty commentators will, you know, feud on Twitter. You know, you saw Woody and Whiteboy, I don't know if anybody followed that, because suddenly one of them didn't get top favorited or something, or in one of the categories, you know, all that rubbish. I doubt you'll ever see a Battlefield video go in pets and animals, but that's just me. While instead with Battlefield guys, I know that pretty much all the conflicts that I've heard about, they get settled in private, let's put it like that. They get settled out of the public eye, and nobody really needs to know about them. Because that just makes it stupid. There's no need to get involved in all this stuff, and yet these guys from Call of Duty use their 200,000 subscribers to get into a massive argument with everybody. What are you going to do? That's what I see the community as. I think that Battlefield puts a lot of time into their content as well. Seeing as longer videos, you've got to take a long time to edit them down, render them, and yeah, okay, this isn't exactly the best edited thing. I'm literally just cutting death scenes out 10 seconds, you know, that'll do, with my super iMovie 08, boom boom. But you do tend to see things like the playbook series Colin's done. The edits that people are doing for Battlefield are really good. I'm really looking forward to Barney's new montage, the synced montage. That looks like it's going to be really, really good. And it's the kind of stuff like that. I'm not saying that Call of Duty doesn't have the same sort of time in editing, but when you look at, let's say, Predator's montage, which was like 2 weekends of recording, and yet it's hit like 1 billion views or something stupid like that, you kind of get a feel that sometimes this Battlefield sort of content is a bit underappreciated. But you know what I mean. The big thing though that I want to look at is Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3. Now there's not really any doubt in my mind that Modern Warfare 3 will sell more. I don't want it to. I want Battlefield 3 to sell more. I want DICE to get loads of money. I want them to keep developing these amazing games. And yes, I've only played Battlefield by Company 2, but I've heard so many good things about the other Battlefield games, which makes me think that they're able to replicate this in Battlefield 3. And from what I've seen, it looks amazing. These little trailers and snippets that I've seen, and there's some people that have managed to get like leaked footage out from a conference a while ago, or a convention or whatever it was. It really does look outstanding, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be my first Battlefield game technically, so I'm going to look forward to trying to get hold of a jet and figuring out what the hell I'm supposed to do. Never flown one, never actually seen footage of them either, so that'd be pretty cool if anybody could, maybe if there's any sort of jet flying montage or something like that, or maybe tutorials or that kind of thing, because I'm too lazy to look them up myself. Please feel free to throw that down below and kind of, you know, share the knowledge around, because I'm sure that a lot of people that got into Battlefield by Company 2, such as myself, that haven't played any of the Battlefield games or haven't played the Battlefield main series, will need, although they'll be experienced with this kind of game, they will still need some sort of info and starter tips for Battlefield and how it's changed a bit. Like, I know that there's a lot of differences, even though it is sort of the same kind of game. So I definitely look forward to it and learning a whole new game, really. Not from scratch, but you know, it's not going to be like Battlefield Bad Company 3, for instance, which I know a lot of people keep mistaking Battlefield 3 to be. But you know, I'm really looking forward to it. Modern Warfare 3, you know, I'm kind of giving up on Call of Duty. They pump a game out every year. They're still running on what I've heard to be a modified Call of Duty 2 engine, although I know that they're still running on Call of Duty 4's engine. You know, Treyarch, they just use a rehashed one every time. Modern Warfare 3, you know, I think it's just going to be as bad as the others. It will have a couple of months of playable value. I might pick it up at maybe Christmas or something this year, but otherwise I'm really not going to play it that much. I'll probably play it, see what the campaign's like, maybe. I mean, honestly, I think I'm going to enjoy that more than the online. Play the online for the first prestige, maybe, if I can bear it. I doubt I will. I definitely think that my time this year will be sucked up by Gears of War 3's campaign, maybe a little bit of that online. Skyrim, definitely, I'm going to spend a lot of time on Skyrim. I'm really looking forward to that. Battlefield 3, of course. I'm going to try and get it on PC as well, see how that goes down. And I don't know, we'll see what the differences are on the two consoles. I know that, not the consoles, the platform, sorry. I know that Battlefield 3 is supporting bigger maps with more players, of course. So I'm really looking forward to trying that out. I doubt my PC skills will be up to scratch. Even by then, I doubt I'm gonna sort of do as well on PC. But you know, we can always hope I end up doing something crazy like mass. You know, try the impossible. But yeah, another like really big thing I'm looking at and thinking about while doing this, just took a minute to like recollect my thoughts, is that the Call of Duty players that are slowly getting into Battlefield, especially in the run up to Battlefield 3, I'm going to be really interested in how they react and learn the game. I know that some of them have played a little bit of time on Battlefield Bad Company 2, such as I've seen footage from Bendro, I've seen footage from Dunkus, Gold Glove, and then you've got the people like Woody's Gamertag, who obviously knows so much about this game. It's unbelievable. I don't really think they need vehicles, and I think that instead you need really small maps and yeah, all that good stuff for the game. And then there's Wings of Redemption, who is everybody's favourite idiot compared when talking about Battlefield. Sorry, obviously he knows so much about this game. It's just unbelievable. But it's the people that are new to the series, but aren't like new to this community. People that are the big figures. I'm just gonna go with the three people I mentioned earlier: Dunkus, Gold Glove, Bendro, as just people off the top of my head that I can think of. They're gonna probably pick up Battlefield 3. I'm gonna say they are, and I want to see like how they react to the game and what they say to the people who view their videos about it. Because I'm sure that a lot of people will make videos of the new games coming out. I'm sure that Gears of War 3 will be flooding in September. I'm sure Skyrim will be flooding in the start of November and probably throughout it. Because we still don't have a release date for Modern Warfare 3 and Battlefield 3, I have a feeling they're going to be flooding your sub box as well, depending on who you sub to, of course. That's a good point. But I want to see how the Call of Duty players who pick it up and who have sort of established themselves in the community as Call of Duty commentators, I want to see what they react to the game like. I want to see their thoughts on it as I get ramboed. I wish he hadn't done that. I was going to get some smoke for the MCOM. But, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a massive Battlefield veteran. I mean, I've only played Battlefield Bad Company 2 and I haven't put a lot of time into it. Well, I say that, I've got to level 40, so I suppose I have put some time into it. But I don't think that well, I come across now to myself that I'm preaching that I've played this game forever, when in fact I haven't. So yeah, that's actually where that's what I should say. But recently, I definitely say I've been playing Battlefield more than most of the games, well, all of the games to be honest. I kind of haven't really played Call of Duty much. I went on a couple of, like about a week ago, played it a bit. I just don't enjoy it anymore. So Battlefield is really where it's at for me these days. And I'm kind of looking now to try and get to that notorious 50, get some magic powers, and all that kind of good stuff. As well as even getting a few platinum weapons, which I still haven't got, and I don't really know if that's good or bad yet. Soon enough, time shall tell. And actually, the game is finally coming to an end, as you see the tickets dwindling away. We managed to somehow pull a win out of somewhere. And that is actually it. That's all I really have to say. I've kind of exhausted myself. It's been a long time since I started the commentary, and I can't remember whether or not I said that there won't be a final score screen because my PVR cut out. So if I did, I'm sorry to repeat myself. If not, there you go, that's my explanation why. I'd like to thank, or take this time to thank, StonefaceLock and the rest of the D crew for presenting us with this opportunity. It's a very good contest. Best of luck to all the other competitors, and this is Just an Average Gamer, signing off.